Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here with...
I am Groot.
Okay, fine. Blue Star Saber here with Lucky Chi 7 as we're here to discuss the entire Sasuke Retsuden manga and anime adaptions. Why am I doing this after reviewing all 10 chapters? Well, Lucky Chi was originally going to try and join us for a few of them, but he couldn't make it due to one reason or another. And I decided, you know what? I'll discuss this story one last time. But to add a bit of flavor, since Lucky Chi has seen the anime adaptions, I'd also do that, which meant I was also forced to watch them. So I did, though I did give its thumbs down on Crunchyrolls for them. So, so there's me. But yes, we're here to discuss the entire story of Sasuke Retsuden's manga and anime adaptions. Say hello, Lucky Chi.
I am Groot.
Yeah. I take it you've seen the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie then?
Actually, no, I have not.
Ah. Well, that would have made sense, but yes. But yeah, let's see. Sasuke Retsuden.
Yeah.
Let's see. As for those who those who will know, it is the novel adaptation of the second of a three-part story in which it focuses on the members of Team 7, and this one is the one that mainly focuses on Sasuke and Sakura as they investigate a prison thing to try and find a sort of way to cure Naruto, who has recently suffered an illness from the Jinchuriki thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, so yeah, how the story goes out, well, let's see, of course, Sasuke going there, learning about the prison and all that stuff. There he encounters, like, a few cellmates, particularly, the names G, I believe,
Gigi, yeah.
Yeah, Jinji, Penjira,
I think.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I think it's Gigi. I can't remember at the top of my head, but I'm guessing that's what his name was.
Well, yeah, it's Gigi, Thundera, and I think maybe Gano. I don't know, an elderly man. He has those cellmates, all that stuff. But when he's doing there, he also learns that the prison is guarded by a dragon, or more of a dinosaur, a sort of raptor, one from the raptor family, I think. What's he called? Memmo, which is your favorite boy in this story, but yeah.
I don't know if I'd call him my favorite, but he is entertaining.
But yes. But yeah, but let's see. Sasuke tries to control it, kill it, and all that stuff, which makes him wonder what kind of summon it is, and then eventually deduces that it's some sort of Edo Tensei or some sort of similar summoning to that. But while he's there, he also encounters Sakura, who is a bit surprised, who's also come to tag along to help out on the mission. And during this, you get a bit of the family, the sort of relationship drama about Uetsi from Gigi, who has like a fiance and all that stuff. But why doesn't he have a wedding ring for Sakura and all that stuff? Where Sasuke tries to show some qualities of a husband, if you will, while they investigate, the prison and its warden, led by Sanasuru, who seems to control the dinosaur, is immune to Sasuke's genjutsu, but does not appear to be a ninja. During which they find these sort of like particles that came falling down to the sky that the Sage of Six Paths was also, ill with, and as a result, they were able to discover it through a card game. They were able to get the scroll for all that stuff and find the particles, breaking it from its seal. But during then, Sansu and his secret accomplice start, resurrecting a lot more dinosaurs or dragons, if you will, causing a rampage. Which the accomplice turns out to be Gigi, as he stabs Sakura and takes the particles for their goals of raising a giant dinosaur army to take over the country and then start a massive war in regards to Prime Minister, in which during a bit of a clash between Sasuke with who would gain the control of Memmo against Sansu and his army of dinosaurs, while Sakura deals with Gigi. Eventually, Sanatsu is killed by falling by his own arrogance, and Gigi is immobilized. We learned that the reason why he ended up is a rogue ninja from the Hidden Sand who fell in love with a woman named, I believe, Margot and all that stuff, who was an attendant of like the prince who should now be the king with like from the thing, but was told that she died, so he would be given her body to allow to resurrect if he helped them create an army for war and all that stuff. No, he eventually learns from like Sasuke and Sakura that she's still alive, releases the dinosaurs as Sasuke's parts to Menmo. They're able to bring back the cure as Sakura and Sasuke enjoy a family meal with their daughter Sadara. And a bit of a lone time at the end, you know, a sort of romance story, a sort of like a sort of romance, if you will. But yeah, ending like the whole story. That's pretty much the summary of its parts.
You went through that pretty quickly.
Well, after
give it a round of applause for Blue, everybody.
Well, I've literally already. If you want to see me go in depth of these reviews, you can look at any of my chapter reviews from 1 to 10, from the 5 or 6 videos that I did.
I mean, I wasn't part of one of them, so I do remember that.
Yeah, but frankly, I'd rather not go through all of those again, and frankly, it's like torture. But yeah, that's just basically the summary of the part, which, yeah, that's the story.
Yeah.
Now, how the story came about, well, it's, you know, part of a 3-story novel. First one was Kakashi, second one Sasuke and Sakura, third one with Naruto and I believe Orochimaru.
Yeah, from what I know, the Naruto one, I think that just came out recently. I haven't checked it out, but I know that that's another component.
But yeah, but basically, this manga, it was announced this was getting a manga and anime adaptation, like just towards the end of the last year. Many assume that it's due to try and test out the waters to see how popular the Sasusaku ship is and all that stuff, since apparently the Boruto sales are not doing so well. They figured, let's see, what if we try that and see how it would succeed and all that stuff. But if that is the general idea of why this novel was adapted.
It's, I don't know if I brought it up in one of the other streams I was in, but, and like, I'm not saying this because of, you know, SS sector. It's not even that. My thing is, because like it's connected with the Naruto light novel and the Kakashi one, I'm like thinking, wouldn't it be better to start off with Kakashi and then get to this? I'm just thinking,
Yeah, and I think this is the main problem of just having this this middle part of a 3-part story just adapted by itself. It's like you don't know the whole details on it and all that stuff. It's like regardless of what you think of the content, it's kind of like confusing. It's like okay, you got this sort of prime minister character that's doing all these evil things and all that stuff, but you never see him. Or like,
I was just going to say, like, I haven't read the entirety of Kakashi's story, but I know a little bit of it stems from that. I know that much.
But yeah, but it's like a middle part of a story, which, on one hand, doing a sort of 3-part story with Team 7 isn't necessarily a bad idea.
No.
Problem is, I think they just done it with such a kind of ridiculous premise, to be honest. I think that's the biggest.
Especially the last one, yeah.
I mean, Naruto getting ill from a sort of disease from being a Jinchuriki, which only the only one that's ever had the similar illness is the Sage of 6 Paths.
I was just gonna say this, like, in concept, I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think how they executed it is where I'm like, really? Huh.
I mean, okay, if you're going to do like a sort of illness related to Jinchuriki, you gotta have to try and make it a bit more common or something like that.
That's what I'm thinking too.
But yeah, granted, you could argue this is the main story, if not really the original timeline story, not always focusing on the Jinchuriki plot line as well as it should. I mean, or just with the fact that one of the problems of it is that there was always these things that happen with when Naruto's a Jinchuriki, that does not happen with the other ones, like the special transformations or how he survives and all that stuff like that. But from Extraction. But yeah, honestly, it just doesn't really work for the Jinchuriki thing. And honestly, it feels like this. If you're gonna do like a Naruto from a disease, it honestly should be like just this maybe this called this unknown disease, or maybe even some sort of assassin kind of thing. Just let's see, gave him a gift that had some sort of contagious thing that that can only have a cure in a certain land or something like that. I could see stuff like that working more in tune with that, because it's like you can't really kill Naruto directly. He's too powerful at this point.
Well, my thing is also with that whole aspect is he's already a Jinchuriki, so I feel like any poison thing, anything that's like poisonous. I know some people want to say, well, what happened in the Kage Summit? The thing about that, at least from what I remember, is that was also pre him and Kurama like being, like teamed up together. So I feel like with where it's at, it's like,
Yeah. It's like, honestly, let's see. You need to do okay, you do something with the Jinchuriki thing, but honestly, let's see, deal with the aspect of the Jinchuriki. But honestly, just saying that only this disease for being a Jinchuriki, I feel like doesn't really work by itself, and should have done something like should have tried and do a disease that not even a tailed beast can cure or something.
Actually, I just thought about this right now. This just popped into my head. So you remember Baryon mode, right? That was showcased.
Yeah.
And I think the anime could have done this, but I think maybe you could have had it as like a side effect from that, where due to that.
To be honest, I find the Brian mode to be completely dumb, Lucky Cheese. So
no, it is dumb, but I'm just saying, like, if you want to make it consistent,
well, from my understanding, these novels came out way before Brian mode was done in the manga. So yeah.
No, I was just saying, like, with where placed in the anime, it was like, you want to play coy with it. You could.
Well, from what I've seen in the anime, they did it as a sort of flashback. Sasuke just remembers this from like
which I kind of had my suspicions. I was like, if anything, they're probably just gonna have it as a flashback.
Mm-hmm.
That is what it is.
But yeah, honestly, it feels like this should have been like an unknown disease that not even the power of a Jinchuriki could cure, or something that an assassin tried to do to try and take out Naruto. That let's see, that the Jinchuriki's powers can do, and it can only be found in like this one sort of location, and let's see the cure that Sasuke has gone to. Also, it's like but like. Just I don't know, something that Naruto just encountered, and then blah blah blah, and not the result of the Jinchuriki, because it's just kind of ridiculous. When you just see when it has not affected any of the other Jinchuriki. But yeah, that is like the main issue with like the setup for this plot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, what else would you say is the biggest problem with this story?
Well, other than the fact that as far as the manga goes, they decided to tell a middle part of a 3-part story. Okay. And the thing I find kind of ridiculous is that, like, we know how skilled of a fighter Sasuke is.
Yeah.
And like, as much as, I do like, the dinosaur, part of me is kind of just like, really? Like, we're bringing back this one incredible dinosaur, or dragon in this case, and it's resistant to the Sharingan one?
Well, Well, to be honest, Lucky Chi, let's see. I think the dinosaurs themselves, I just think, are genuinely just a major problem with the whole let's see. They feel very out of place within like the Naruto world.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, from my understanding, the wiki has pointed out that okay, Sasuke did have a dinosaur toy when he was young, but that's
Hey,
not.
dude, give me one quick second, okay?
All right. Okay. Let's see. As I was saying, the Sasuke Retsuden. I do know that apparently in the Naruto manga, the wiki has said that around chapter. That apparently around chapter. Was shown in chapter 402's flashback that Sasuke did have a toy for the dinosaurs, but granted, that's not really enough of a build up to say, oh, dinosaurs existed in this world. I mean, it's just like a little small cameo thing. I mean, you can't really just do a sort of big wide lore dump with like the whole dinosaur thing there. I mean, yes, dinosaurs are historically the things that came before everything else, regardless one of the, like 60 million years before our own timeline. But but given the fact that Naruto has done no proper build up to the whole dinosaur things, and Naruto's always been more of these mythical, like let's see, fantasy stuff, particularly of Japanese mythology and other Asian cultures, it just, well, to be honest, it just feels out of place, doesn't feel right and all that stuff. And I'm just thinking, why aren't they just using actual dragons? That's really what my main issue is, like, why not just use actual mythological dragons? And frankly, I feel mythological dragons would actually be a bit more of a actual threat to like Sasuke and Sakura, because, well, let's see, dinosaurs, they don't, let's see, the only thing, there's nothing really mythical or special about them compared to, like, say, the mythology around dragons and all that stuff. I mean, dragons can breathe fire, they can make them, they can control the elements and all that stuff, walk on clouds, depending on which mythology you can have. They can live for thousands of years, stuff like that. They can destroy entire armies. And while dinosaurs are impressive and probably fearsome, I mean, humans would not, like, regular humans would not survive them. But I feel like superpowered ninjas would be able to, of course, survive the whole thing like that. But yeah. So yeah, that is like the main issue I have with the dinosaurs here. They just feel too out of place, and this is pretty ironic given the fact this franchise has introduced aliens and cyborgs into it. I mean, let's see. Granted, someone like yeah, you could argue that the aliens and cyborgs are worse, but this is just like come on, really? You're adding dinosaurs into the mix here and all that stuff. So yeah, let's see. And yeah, that is arguably the my main issue here. Let's see. And I wonder how long let's see, you're gonna take, Lucky Chi, but yeah, this is my main issue with this part of the story and all that stuff, and the fact that honestly, I mean, okay, let's see, they tried to make them threatening with like the whole Edo Tensei thing, resurrection. Sasuke can't use genjutsu on them. He can't really first seem to be killing them, though I think the anime implied that he did kill the first one and then they resurrected a new one afterwards, though I could be wrong on that account. But I think that was just something that the anime did. But yeah. I mean, I can kind of get something a sort of like ancient mythological army to do war as a plot line thing, but I feel like just with dinosaurs, it feels kind of ridiculous since some of the dinosaurs they resurrected don't really, as far as we know, aren't really that threatening, especially the more herbivore ones. I mean, like the ones that, let's see, the one they summoned at the end, I believe it is a, let's see, well, they call it, I think, a Titan. Let's see, let's see, a Titan, well, the long next ones. They aren't necessarily like a very bloodthirsty dinosaur. I mean, okay, they are the tallest, but when you think of like the most dangerous and deadly predator for dinosaurs, their general senses is T-Rex. But I suppose you could argue it's trying to do something different. But I don't know. I feel like if you want to do you might want to do a bit more different type of carnivore dinosaur if you want to make this part threatening and all that stuff. But yeah. Okay. Let's see. On a sec, I just want to check it when Lucky Chi is gonna come back. When are you coming? Let's see. What else? This is what happens when your co-host leaves you in the middle of a stream. Let's see, but yeah, but I guess the only my other ass-ish. And you have returned.
Sorry about that, Blue. I had to go open the door downstairs.
Yeah. You left me in a bit of a struggle there, Lucky Chi, since I was trying to think of what to do to try and stay on the topic. But yes. But to sum up what I've said with dinosaurs, my biggest issue with them is the fact that they feel out of place, despite the fact that this franchise has had stuff like aliens and cyborgs already. It just feels like something that doesn't feel like unnatural, and it feels like actual mythological dragons would be more fitting given the setting and fantasy lore that Naruto's been a part of. And that some of the dinosaurs that they chose to be really threatening, like, the ones they refer to as Titan, as the long necks, feel a bit, well, it doesn't feel like as threatening as something like, say, a T-Rex or another carnivore type of large dinosaur.
Right.
But yeah. And, but yeah, hold on. I'm just going to go quickly get a drink while I'm just, drink while you, just say some of your own thoughts about the dinosaurs.
No, so my thoughts on the dinosaurs is that like okay, is it a stretch to say to have dinosaurs in Naruto? Like yes and no. Like I think the issue is that like as far as I know, like predating back to the beginnings of the manga, and like even looking through Shippuden, like I went through the graveyard scene with Kabuto and Madara like on a number of occasions. And I was like, okay, if there's like a dinosaur fossil somewhere, then maybe I can like kind of make sense of it. But the fact that it wasn't there, I mean, okay, it's not a huge surprise that okay, yeah, we're throwing in something in the Naruto that wasn't exactly established before. I mean,
let's see.
It's not exactly like a new thing of like, oh, we're just throwing something in that wasn't there. I mean, I don't know.
As far as I can tell from like the wiki, the only thing that they can reference is that Sasuke had a child toy of a dinosaur in the flashback in 402, which isn't really something you can really build up on, to be honest.
402. Which episode? What was that?
It was the flashback when he was a kid and he wanted to go out and play with Itachi.
Oh, wait. Let me check them. I don't think it's in the. I don't think it's in the manga, but let me check that.
Apparently, that's what the wiki says. I'm just about to check the chapter myself.
I know that's volume
Volume 43.
60.
Let's see, 43.
Oh, 43. When you said flashback, I was thinking of the fight against Kabuto, but
No, it's the Itachi Revelation stuff.
Tachi Revelation. So say that should be 43 then. Okay, so 402. Let me see.
Yeah, last words in which you got Sasuke in the room. Apparently, you see Ritzy in his bed. There's what appears to be a stuffy of a toy dinosaur, though you could argue it might look like a little bit of a Godzilla.
Chapter 402.
You can let's see.
I'm looking at it.
Can you see it? It's on the first page. The first page.
You said chapter 402, right?
Yes, 402. Last words. That is what's showing. Apparently
okay.
that's apparently a dinosaur.
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough you can build off from that necessarily, but I mean,
No.
if you want to make it a reach, then it is a reach for sure.
But yeah, it definitely feels like a stretch, Ritzy, to be honest. But yeah, the only other thing I can say is that let's see, in regards to the tailed beast and the skeleton graveyard thing. Honestly, the way that it might have been implied, it might have been applied to be some sort of like tailed beast graveyard where the tailed beasts, we know the tailed beasts do occasionally die, but they always get revived in some way, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, we know that after all, Rin died with the three tails inside her, and then eventually it came back and then was placed inside the fourth Misukage, which does complicate the whole timeline of the three tails Jinchuriki. I know, but still. Let's see. We do know that. Let's see. That might be the place where this tailed beast just died, and that was where it was. But yeah, that seemed to be the gist of it. But yeah, that is the problem with the whole thing. But yeah, but it's just like there's not really enough to build up on it. I mean, it's not like with One Piece where during the when introduction of the supernovas in the Shalabi archipelago, you had X Drake with a dinosaur fruit.
I would even say no. I would even say this like another thing I would have probably brought up is say like Blackbeard, like when he's introduced, you don't even know who he is. He's just a character.
Yeah, let's see. Well, yes, you don't know who Blackbeard is at first, but of course you do get an introduction in Skype. Let's see, just towards the end of the arc after Luffy's beaten Bellamy. It's like, oh shoot, this guy who gave Luffy this cool speech about dreams is actually the man that Ace is hunting for. So yeah. But it's like let's see, One Piece build up like dinosaur devil fruits back in like Shalaboli, and then when it came to like the Wano Country arc or Wano Saga or Yonko Saga, you had like an entire crew of dinosaur fruit users and other prehistoric ones like saber-tooth mammoths and stuff like that. So it's like you could believe it all as natural in the whole thing. It's just and even like with One Piece with the stuff like cyborgs, and I think even a director from the film Red said, even if you One Piece's world building so good that you could actually believe going to the moon as a natural thing compared to like what happened with Naruto in the last. Anyway, a comment from the first Evil. Yo, just got back from my brother's 42nd birthday barbecue. I hope you had fun there. But I'm happy to get to watch the rest, hoping that I haven't missed too much. Basically, what we've talked about was an intro. We're just introducing ourselves, discussing about what we're planning to do with the Retsuden stream, and there'll be details about the sales and all that stuff, summary of the plot, and some of the stuff that it's like was the story of adding to the lore, which is the particle thing with Naruto's illness, and the dinosaurs. But I suppose the cure that Naruto had, it was like a particle thing from a meteor.
Yeah.
That feels ridiculous, doesn't it, Lucky Chi? I mean, that is what they decided to use as the MacGuffin cure. Lucky Chi? Lucky Chi? Hello? You there? Could you say that again? I couldn't quite hear that.
Yeah, I'm here.
Could you speak up louder for what you just said?
I'm here.
Lucky Chi, could you speak a bit louder from what you said?
Sorry.
Lucky Chi, are you there or you're talking to someone? Hello? Okay, people, it seems we have currently lost Lucky Chi. At least it appears he's having a conversation with someone outside the stream. So, he is gone. This is the second time this has happened in the stream, people. Sorry about this. If First Evil, if you have any comments you want to say about the sort of like dinosaurs, Naruto's illness, or even like the cure for it, feel free to post them and I'll read them out and hopefully lead to some discussions while we're waiting for Lucky Chi to come back. But I think the whole main draw of this story, at least from what I can tell, with an intention to sell, was to promote the Sasuke and Sakura romance, which is pretty much what most people were, which is what I think was mostly to try and be the selling point of this story. Where let's see, for like where Sakura fans who have been clamoring for like this romance story, romance story to be one of the things they want to adapt is apparently all the good moments that Sasuke and Sakura have in this thing, which apparently it's gone into the and we're back. Hello, Lucky Chi.
Okay, I don't know what is going on with my phone, but that's
okay.
Weird.
Okay, fine. So, okay, hopefully that'll be the last of your errors, but yeah. But I was trying to ask you about the cure thing for the disease, that being the whole meteor particles.
I don't think it's that much of a stretch.
I don't know. It just feels kind of stupid.
It does.
I don't know why sort of like a special herb or like maybe like a special let's see sort of like from a special healing lake or something like that could be used as like the cure instead. I feel like this just feels a bit weird. Especially since the disease is supposed to be one related to a Jinjuriki and its cure is some sort of meteor.
Yeah.
Ooh, First Evil said, I wish I had the Indominus Rex to kill Sasuke, but all the SS moments made me fix to my stomach. And I suppose, let's see, given how I was just talking about if you had any comments about that stuff, we'll probably get into the topic now. I think the main selling point of this novel, this story, is to help, develop the Sakura romance. Now, from my understanding, the author of this novel,
it's the same one that did the Star Pupil story for Sasuke.
Yeah,
I know that.
June Esker. Apparently, she considered this story a bit of a fan fiction, so which in many ways feels like
it reads as one.
Yeah. Yeah, and it definitely feels like it. Let's see, Margarita definitely expressed that many times during the stream. Let's see, stream and the chapter reviews, but yeah. I mean, the whole main issue that they decided to do is the fact that apparently Sasuke has not given Sakura a wedding ring or something like that. Apparently, that's a thing that's apparently exclusive to the land of Rakada or something.
They explain again. I haven't read the entirety of. This is like when I was still reading it last year, so it's been like a long time. But when I was reading Kakashi's story, I know they kind of delved into that. I think kind of. So, it's weird. It's really, really weird.
Which is a bit weird, because from my understanding, they've been shown times, let's see, from both in the Boruto timeline and the Naruto timeline, that wedding rings existed. And you had some couples wearing the wedding rings and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
got you got from Hinata to Naruto. You got I don't know. Probably has one. I think probably. 100% sure she does. Who else? Kurenai?
Could you speak a bit louder just so I can hear you more clearly? But you said Ino and Kurenai, right?
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Minato Kushina, obviously.
Okay. So yeah, apparently they've had wedding rings, and honestly, this just feels like something that she made up just to try and do something with the romance in the story. Now, granted, from my understanding, in the novel, let's see. Yeah, I should probably have mentioned this sooner. That if you're a bit of a fan of Sasuke Sakura, you might not like what we have to say about the romance in the story. But my understanding, the novel implied that Sasuke and Sakura did kiss because, from what we've seen in many of the manga stories, particularly Gaiden, Sasuke avoids kissing Sakura, but apparently this novel says that they have actually kissed.
Yeah, I know the Star Pupil light novel. From what I remember, I know Sarada teases Sasuke about him and Sakura kissing once or twice. It's at least implied that they do.
Let's see. Yeah.
So, which interestingly enough, again, that story is also written by the same person that did this. So
Yeah, you mentioned that, but yeah. Look, honestly, I just don't seem to believe it. I just can't seem to believe it because there's been never any actual proper confirmation, just only implications. But yeah. And honestly, let's see. And the way Kishimoto writes Sasuke with like Sakura post timeline, he just doesn't seem interested in actually kissing her, which is honestly, let's see.
I think it's kind of hilarious, actually.
Yeah, but it's also
not to be mean, but
Oh, I'm going to be completely mean about it. But yeah, it's like let's see. You expect them to be married, but you can't kiss. But First Evil says, "What more Sasuke fangirls? After the stream, I'm going to go and read The Children of Huron by Token. At least it has an anti-hero. Heroes are written better and by a better writer." Well, to be fair, I doubt anyone would see, except for the most die-hard Boruto or Naruto fans, would say Kishimoto's a better writer than J.R.R. Tolkien. I mean, since that guy is pretty much the father...
I was going to say, even I wouldn't say that.
Yeah, since he's pretty much the father of modern fantasy and all that stuff. The father of, let's see, of the fantasy genre and stories, at least the go-to one. No one is going to say anyone else is a better writer than him, regardless, even if there is a better story out there than Lord of the Rings.
I mean, actually, no, I can't say that because Lord of the Rings is like top tier, peak storytelling. But yeah. I was gonna say the only other story I could think of that might be on I don't even know if it's even on that level, but it's what you've heard of it. It's called Dune by Frank Herbert.
Yes, Dune, the Dune trilogy or 6-part saga, if you will. I'm aware of it. Arguably as one of the best sci-fi novels of all time, from my understanding.
Yeah.
But granted, that might be regarded as more of a sci-fi than fantasy, though granted, the two have often been associated. We've got one called Uzumaki Naruto saying Sasuke Retusden is complete garbage, dropped after 3 chapters. Well, I don't necessarily blame you, and I think that's when the sort of Sasuke Sakura stuff kind of started to get a bit cringe. But yeah, but I suppose, the whole thing of the whole wedding ring, even though it ended up happening, we ended up having that as a whole bit of a thing of the plot. It ended up being something to use to save Sakura's life. But the end, she doesn't even wear it because she says like it'll get in the way of my work. Even though I'm pretty certain most married couples would wear their wedding ring when it's like on a daily thing, and when there's like I don't know an activity that could either damage their finger by wearing it, like maybe washing or doing their work, they'll take it off, but always put it back on afterwards. You don't have to worry about retirement to solve it. But yeah,
No.
but I think this is
No,
also,
but I was gonna say that goes for any piece of jewelry though.
yeah.
I mean,
Let's see. Sports, take off your watches or Fitbits and all that stuff when you're about to do a sport bit that you can't really wear your wrists on. Stuff like that. It's just like you don't have to wear it 24/7.
no.
So that's a bit of a problem with that. But this is the fundamentals of this problems of the story. It doesn't really address any of the issues that happened with like let's see with the Sasuke relationship, none of the baggage and all that stuff. Let's see. And granted, granted, I was at first a bit curious about the story because apparently, I think when I first read the Naruto wiki about the Uchiha clan massacre, apparently talked about how, there's a bit of it that mentioned that apparently Sasuke eventually told Sakura and Sadara the truth of the massacre, which implies that she did not know until at least 12 years after their 12 years after their marriage. I mean, how long they've been married for, but yeah.
Which is Sasuke didn't. Yeah, I know. Because I was gonna say, I know in the anime, I know Sarda knows about it, but yeah.
You see, she knows about the massacre, but she doesn't seem to know about it's never been revealed if she knows the whole details of the whole thing.
That's true, yeah.
Sakura. I mean, I've gone into some arguments over some Sakura fans recently on Twitter about, she must know because she says, I know how important your relationship to your brother is, which on one hand, yes, it would be a bit weird for her to be like, okay, why would she say that if she thinks like his brother just slaughtered the clan and left him as an orphan and all that stuff? But at the same time, let's see, you've got to make it clear, and this is arguably one of the biggest issues with like the fact that the Uchiha clan massacre to this day, the full details are not told. Apparently, the novel says Naruto told the world that Itachi stopped the Edo Tensei from Kabuto, but never gave the details about why.
He kind of did. He's not entirely wrong about that. He did kind of tell the world, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Itachi stopped it, but he never gave the reason why. I mean, why we would do that? Let's see, what goes on with the massacre? From my understanding, the reason for why he did the massacre in the first place, it's never been told, and it's like that's just been one of the biggest problems.
I feel like that's also a real world thing too. Is like, like you're told certain things, but like as far as like the deeper history goes, like
Yeah, I'm aware that certain secrets are being kept hidden, and even some genocides are not, kept secret. But I think the biggest problem with this, Lucky Chi, especially with Naruto, is when you have the one character, Sasuke, who should never find out this truth because that's the whole point of keeping it a secret. Once he did, he joined the terrorist organization that his brother who was a part of, which confuses the whole entire village and the rest of the world why he would do that, and starts doing acts of terrorism and then going after Danzo. And I think even Danzo points this out. There's not really any point in hiding the massacre
that is the issue. There is that once you have other characters addressing it, it's like, well, why keep it a thing?
Yeah, it's like, let's see. The cat's out of the bag, and if you really want to pardon him from his crimes, you're going to need the context, at least, of why he did it. But anyway, I'm just going to quickly answer First Evil's comment. Well, Blue, I have seen some who think Kishi's on the same level or better than Token. Not many, mind you, but there are some. Well, to be fair, I think you find that with like just about nearly every.
I feel like anyone's able to say that, though.
Yeah, you're probably going to find in many different franchises that there's some people that think that, this story is better Lord of the Rings. I'm sure you found some in like Attack on Titan, Game of Thrones, Series that
Well,
had rather
I was
controversial endings, mind you.
Well, here's the thing, though. As far as a Song of Ice and Fire point of view, more specific here. I mean, we can't even really say that because I mean, Martin's not even finished with the last two books.
Yeah.
So there's that issue there. Now, Attack on Titan. I've already said my piece on that, so I'm not going to repeat it. Blue knows where I'm going with that.
But normally whenever you get like a really popular, very high quality series, you probably even have some in One Piece say it. Let's see. You always have that, but now whether or not it's necessarily true or not, I mean, there might have been an argument for some might have argued for Attack on Titan or One Piece or even Game of Thrones during the peak of their popularity, but I don't think many would suggest that now, though. Granted, maybe One Piece in its end, but I think One Piece is a Britzy quality of its own. But yeah, you're unlikely to ever find a fantasy series or a fantasy author that'll be put on the same level. I mean, closest is arguably George R.R. Martin, but as like the American token. But yeah, I doubt. Let's see. But I think that sort of died down. But yeah, I do not think, with everything that's gone on with the Naruto franchise, that you could ever compare it to the level of quality of Lord of the Rings.
No, and I mean, here's okay, let's say the ending actually, worked out in its favor, right? Well, I mean, there is still like a huge number of issues with Naruto when you really look at it, right? So
yeah, I mean,
like even then, like you wouldn't really put it on the same level as Tolkien.
Yeah, I mean, not to say that everything Lord of the Rings does was perfect. I mean, my understanding, Gandalf, when he died and then came back, it wasn't really explained properly. Which I think that's something that George R. R. Martin said, but stuff like that. But I think, let's see, Lord of the Rings is from beginning, middle, and end it was actually originally one story, but they split into 3 books for more financial reasons at the time. But but the story is pretty much been around for decades, and well received, gotten very good adaptions in the Peter Jackson thing, and you still have like people trying to do like shows and things on the lore. Whether you feel about Rings of Power is a Retsy thing, but if you have people like still talking about Lord of the Rings, Naruto is rather a franchise on decline, and this is probably why this manga came out in the first place. It seems to see if it can try and draw fans. But from my understanding, the first volume only sold 50,000 copies, which is only half of what a Borta volume is averages right now.
Which is really telling.
Yeah. Which, okay, you have like half of the Sasuke fandom, let's see, that buys any of the mangas, seemingly only buy this volume. So, yeah, okay, arguably half the fan base is either Sasuke fans or Sasuke fans or Sakura fans, depending on who you will. I mean, which, to be fair, one of the reasons I can see why they did this novel was because manga adaptations, because apparently Sasuke fans do buy their merch and all that stuff, merchandise and all that stuff, and a lot more than say Boruto fans or fans.
If I remember correctly, it wasn't like Sasuke like the top for Japan, or am I like misremembering that? It's been a while since I've checked on the whole couples ranking thing.
My understanding, let's see, Kakashi and Iruka was the most popular ship of Japan.
I do remember that, yeah. That I do remember.
Let's see, and I think during the days of when Naruto's ongoing, even Narusaku was at some point more popular or rather equal, but I don't know. But I think from my understanding, the general census that in Japan, they expected Sakura to become canon, regardless of the popularity of the ships.
Yeah.
That was the end game, that was the marketing, and when it didn't, it sort of got a surprise. And I think when more of the stories came out and the details, people started to lose interest and just got mad at what they did. Like the false advertising of Kakashi and Sasuke during the last film. But yeah. But I think
yeah.
Let's see. But I think but I suppose it's time before we've just got onto the characters of what we had in the story. What do you make of them? Like particularly, but we'll do the main one, Sasuke, who is the central focus on this.
Honestly, I was not that impressed with Sasuke, which is kind of saying a lot because, and then I'll get into this in another part of the discussion, but like when you look at the manga, not this, I mean like the main manga series, like you may not like. I can understand that some people aren't the biggest fans of Sasuke. I was always like kind of like I liked him. I kind of ranged between being indifferent to like being like interested about like what he's gonna do because he's always gonna have like that presence to the series, like where he had that aura and everything. Here it's kind of like just
like what? Sorry, I think you went quiet there for a second.
No, I was just saying like here you don't really get that.
It doesn't feel like this is necessarily he should be here in this story, pretty much.
No.
I will admit, this part feels like you could have had any character do this, like Kakashi, Sakura, Iruka, Lee, Shikamaru, maybe. But yeah, I'm just going to do the comment here. It says, the problem I have with Kishi, he wants everyone to have a redemption, which is why I had aliens show up, and that is my own thoughts on the whole Kaguya deal. I mean, not one villain who was human was evil. Well, I suppose you could argue Hidon was, but yeah.
If he's still alive in Boruto, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah. I mean, apparently he should be a rotten corpse by now. But, yeah.
Imagine someone like digs up the grave. Hey, finally someone digged me up. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You survived even now?
Let's see. Honestly, on one hand, it's arguably the only villain I can see makes sense bringing back without, Edo Tensei.
Even though the anime kind of did
yeah, though, granted, that was a different type of Edo Tensei with like sort of regenerated snake thing with like a currently just still alive corpse.
Wait, wasn't that in the Chikara arc?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you eventually had that, let's see, that resurrection of Hidon, or sort of resurrection of Hidon, just completely disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, but yeah. But anyway, where was I going? Oh yeah. Yeah, honestly, Sasuke, let's see, on one hand, yeah, I can see Sasuke rushing to find a cure for Naruto, but frankly,
that I can see that, but
yeah. Well, granted, I don't really think it's been given much leeway with this. I mean, granted, mainly the story seems to be like just him thinking about what he should do as a husband for Sakura and all that stuff. But yeah. I mean, it's just like he seems to. Well, granted, he still prioritizes trying to find the whole cure thing, but it's like he's just thinking. It just feels like he's just like doing these. Let's see, just letting this whole let's see. Apparently, what a married couple thing should be like in the story, but yeah, it doesn't really feel like that. And not to mention, well, let's see, his opponents. Let's see. Well, it's like the opponents he's facing don't really seem or shouldn't really all that be a threat to him, really. I mean, from like when he's up against like Menmo and later that Sanatsu. I mean, we'll get to those later, but but frankly, it doesn't really feel like he's got much of a personality here. I mean, granted, he's always been a stoic, quiet type, but doesn't really feel like he has much of a drive here. But let's see. I mean, it feels like he perhaps should have focused a bit more on like, I gotta help Naruto after everything he's done for me. I feel like that would make more sense.
Yeah.
Let's see, but yeah. But I suppose, let's see, but to probably talk more about Sasuke, we probably got to talk, of course, a bit more about the protagonist for the story, which is, of course, Sakura.
Yeah, we gotta talk about Sakura. Which, okay, am I happy she's getting spotlight? Yeah, I'm happy about that. Though the way in which we get that spotlight. Okay,
But,
I say this more so for the manga and the light novel because that's less of an issue with the anime, which I know we'll get into.
mm-hmm.
I mean, there are certain things we get for Sakura in the story that I think is kind of interesting, but you know, it's very similar to Gaiden in that aspect, where you also kind of get the, of course you would do that, you know.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like, let's see, with Sakura, when it comes to like when stuff that doesn't involve, let's see, the romance with Sasuke, she's actually enjoyable to look and have around and enjoy, see what she's doing and all that stuff. The biggest example I can think of is when she's challenging, I believe, the character. I think is Penjura to a sort of card game and all that stuff. Is that
Yeah, that was actually cool. I actually like that.
it's like okay, she mesmerized the cards, scratches, and I think even smells and just like the shapes. And when learning just the basic rules just once, is able to come up with a strategy to either tie or even beat her opponent. And we learned that she's done the sort of habit like that with like
With
let's
Tsunade.
see, Tsunade, which on one hand, it's very cool that the whole relationship to Tsunade is actually being used because one of the biggest problems with the manga eventually is that the Sakura and Tsunade relationship kind of, let's see, didn't really get any focus on let's see, besides maybe the beginning of the first two arcs of Shippuden, or part two, if you will.
Yeah, that's a part 2 issue in that aspect.
But yeah, it's like okay, it's like
Like you set it up at the end of part 1, and it's like you said, we get some of it in part 2, but primarily it's like non-existent, you know.
It's like and there was, and the last time we've got any bits of mentions of it is like during the
war.
I think the war
Yeah.
arc where you had that bit where she compliments Sakura and then they work together to summon a larger version of Kaiotsu, doing a double summons, from my understanding.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. Though I do wish they got a moment to fight together, but yeah. I mean, granted, the only other moment I can think of is
we could have gotten that in the last. I will admit to that.
Well, they could have, but they didn't. But yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Though she did beat the shit out of those puppets, which I did like.
Okay, though. I suppose, though, granted, that felt like a more of a repeat of the Sakura versus Sasori stuff, but
yeah.
though I found the whole them teaming up to destroy the giant crab a bit more enjoyable.
A bit more cool, yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Though I do know that in the alternative last Ritzy story, you had Naruto destroy that, but which you sometimes have Sakura fans mock that Ritzy just for doing like arguably one of Sakura's Ritzy wins on that thing, but that's just a fanfic doujin, and not to mention you have her fighting more of the main bad guy in that one, but we'll get to that. But that's maybe a stream on itself whenever it gets properly completed. But yeah.
Or an anniversary podcast.
Yeah.
Am I teasing something? No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Well, you probably want to wait until the entire story is actually completed. But yeah.
Yeah, right.
But the only other thing I can think of is apparently they had a conversation in Sakura hit on about how she and Naruto aren't really that compatible, which I feel like is just an excuse to do not have their relationship and like, oh, why she needs to be with Sasuke and why Hinata needs to be with Naruto, which
that's the Sakura Hidon one, right?
Yeah, which is the one you get. Let's see, Sakura fans or particularly Sakura Saku fans clamoring to get adaptation of like it will solve all of like solve a lot of people's issues with Sakura.
Yeah. Okay.
You talking to someone in the background again, Lucky Chi?
No, that was my dad. He's just heading out, so.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
But fine. But yeah. Which okay. Oh, someone's done a first. You've done a comment. I wonder how long this can last. As you have said, Naruto is a dying franchise. How long do you think this could both last before everyone just keeps trying to push this until they give up?
Well, I got to talk about Boruto eventually on my channel because I haven't done that yet. But I know with where they ended off with the manga, it looks like we're getting the time skip. I think
Yeah.
it looks like it. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I think it's very likely, at least even next chapter, the chapter after, you're getting a time skip. But I think this is chapter 18, and it might be regardless of way to do it. Now, how long Boruto's time skip will be depends. I do
Let me
know
see
that
I gotta check and see where the volume is currently at because if this is the start of a new volume, which I can't believe I'm even doing that, but
unless they do like a sort of halfway thing, like One Piece did with its own time skip with a volume, then okay. But yeah. But if it is the last one for like a new let's see volume and then like new volume, they could do one. Other than that, who knows? I mean, I do know that the original mangaka, or at least the original author, I'm not either Ikemo or the guy who originally wrote, but was planning on having it last 30 volumes, and I think it's currently on 18. So that would imply
it's actually on 20.
Oh, 20. So there's at least from if it's that is true, then we've got another 10 volumes left.
Okay, so I am looking at this right now. So chapter 80 would be the start of volume 21. So if they want to stretch to another 3 chapters, which I don't know what you could do with those 3 chapters, but you know,
yeah,
you
but
could just wait until volume 22. But if I would just say just start with the time skip already.
Arguably, the only thing I can think of do is like bring up that Jiraiya clone and do something with that. Let's see, everyone reacting to apparently Naruto's alleged death, and everyone else doing their own setups of like the other bad guy you have, like code stuff like that. Just a bit more setup, and that's it. But that's all I can think of doing. But yeah, but something tells me the second half won't be too long. It really depends on how they're going to stretch it out. But I feel like the second half is not going to be too long.
I'd give it 10 volumes. I don't see it going anywhere past volume 30.
And they might try to stick with the past 30, but I think with the popularity poll, which my avatar is a part of, by the way, I think they're going to try and do a few spin-offs to see if they can try and make some witty interest with that. If not, who knows? They might decide to just can the whole thing or maybe try and do some sort of reboot timeline. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we would.
But yeah, getting back to like the Sakura stuff, but yeah, the sort of like, but yeah, I do like how let's see, this whole thing with like she learned to pick up a trait because of like Tsunade's gambling habits. I thought that was pretty good.
It was.
Yeah, the only other bit I'd say that I think was decent was how she let's see, gathered some intel on an attendant of the Prime Minister, I think. Are you talking to someone in the background again? Takeshi?
I'm here.
I think is the only other thing I can think of that let's see that drew that I think drew a sort of like is how she got enough intel out of Thundera before she and Sasuke knocked him unconscious and all that stuff. And let's see, and she impersonated him, getting enough details to just have a conversation with Sanashira, to keep him busy, to keep him distracted while they had Sasuke sneak in. That I felt was okay. Other than that, Sakura, okay, you just have a punching dinosaurs, which I feel like it's gone a bit stale with the whole punching now, and it's like
it was cool with the initial fight with Sasori and seeing it here and there during the war, but
it's just kind of gotten a bit stale, and it's like not really proper fights, to be honest. And okay, granted, you could argue she did fight Gigi a little bit, but more of like But okay, she did the clever thing of laying a sealed trap thing on him from when he was being inspected from the medical thing and all that stuff. Which, okay, you could argue like preparing advance when she realized, okay, this guy's a chakra user. Might as well use that.
I kind of want, honestly, I was thinking about this the other day, but I kind of want to see Soccer use. I know people aren't a fan when I say this, but like you remember from like the Land of Snow movie when she
The blizzard technique.
yeah, like I kind of want to see her use techniques like that. I think that would make her, have a little more variety in her skill.
Because I mean, from what I can understand, the only thing that while she did use a few, let's see, she did some sealing things like with that binding thing with Jin, which it might have been only a manga equivalent thing. I'm not sure if it's in the novel itself. Let's see, this particle release seal thing. The only other thing that she's seen is some sort of chakra sensing thing here, and let's see. Apparently, in the novel, she used fire style with some light thing. But other than that, not really anything that could be added to our arsenal. I mean, or at least if you're going to do like just showing off her strength, you could do other things like actually show her using some kicks for a change or something.
Yeah.
Or even like a headbutt, like those hard-headed dinosaurs they have. Use a headbutt on one of those, but yeah. Let's say like, oh, they're supposed to have strong heads. Soccer's got a hard forehead. But yeah. I don't know, just a bit more variety in like just the regular punch, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I'd rather not her use fire style and rather use the earth and water style that the data books imply that she has. But yeah. But that's honestly where it goes. But everything else with her involving her character isn't all that good, particularly whenever it's a Sasuke moment. Particularly like the way she blushes and just like. It's kind of cringe, especially like when she's just admiring that wedding ring and like that ring when they're in the middle of investigating.
I know, like she has that look, like oh my god, he put a ring. I'm like Sakura, how old are you
right now? Let's see.
I'm sorry, I have to make fun of it. I usually don't make fun of things like that, but I'm just like, really? Like, okay, if this was part one Sakura, would it be still cringe? Sure. But on one hand, I'm like, well, she's only 12. I can't blame her for thinking that way.
And if it was like during around the tuning exams or just about, okay, yeah, I can see her just like gushing over just Sasuke, a gift that Sasuke just gives her in general and all that stuff. Yes, I can see that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can honestly see her doing that, but yeah. Now, granted, the one that's a bit more cringe is the fact the way she goes like, "Oh, Sasuke is so hot" at the end when she's talking to Ino.
Honestly, I remember I told you I was also reading the light novel, right? Like as these chapters were coming out. So when I got to that part, I was like, I already know one thing, Blue's not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I hate it. And yes, First Evil, yes, it's likely done by a Sasuke fan with her fan fiction.
Yep. Hey, to be fair, when I read that in the light novel, like I pictured her head just like being smacked against the table while she was saying. I didn't picture like she was having that reaction on her face. I'm like, again, I love Sakura, but why does she look like she's taking a dump when she's saying that? This how it's being portrayed. Like, okay, the line itself is still cringe, but I'm just like, come on, like, if you're gonna at least do that, at least,
I mean, okay, look, I mean, some people like, okay, yes, Etsy Sakura would, Etsy arguably, if she's married to Sasuke, should find him attractive and all that stuff, but the way I feel like it was portrayed looks more like the reaction a teenage girl would have, not a full-grown woman.
Teenage girl, I would even say, nah, I don't want to say it. Maybe a bit too much for me to address it. in that fashion. I think you know where I'm going with it.
Yeah, let's just say, okay, fangirl at the very least. Let's see, someone that's like let's see, fangirl for pop idol or something like that. Or boy band singer, stuff like that. That's the kind of behavior I expect for. Let's see, let's see. Let's see. Granted, I'm not saying that everyone at that age would be like that, but it's like what you stereotypical, what the stereotypical assume when someone that age behaves and all that stuff. I mean, you could have just had her just looking at him and just admiring him, just in like just a sort of smile way. I mean, granted, I mean, even let's see, us being Naruto Sakura fans would have preferred Sakura saying, "Ooh, Naruto's so hot" like that. I think we would have cringed if we saw
Right.
that. Honestly, but granted, honestly, we just rather just let's see, just like a nice warm smile or blush or something like that. Honestly, that's all you got. Just like honestly, that's all you just had to do with that. But I think the biggest offense for this thing is the fact that when it gets to the topic of the Edo Tensei, where I think you talk where Sakura feels like she might consider using it.
Oh, I actually forgot about that. That should tell you how important this story is, guys. I did actually Wait, did they have that in the anime? I don't know.
Yes, they had that in the anime. The only difference is that, let's see, in the anime, you didn't see, in the manga, it had a silhouette of most of the K11, Iruka, and a few others as like the friends that would apparently keep her from doing it.
Okay.
But yes. And yes, let's see. But yeah, but I think this is and people say like, oh yeah, oh her friends would stop her and all that stuff, and she wouldn't do it because we're her friends and all that stuff. But it's like the biggest problem with it that she shouldn't even consider doing it in the first place.
No. That's the thing. She shouldn't consider doing it at all.
Let's see. But yeah, that's the type of stuff you should be left to the bedroom if you know what I mean. God damn it, festival.
That's exactly where I went.
Let's see, but yeah. Let's see. But yeah, this is like, yeah, she shouldn't do it at all because she knows what this jutsu does.
Mm-hmm.
She knows she should know the requirements. It's like, let's see, you're living Sakura. If you want to bring someone back, you need to do as a let's see, you have to sacrifice someone alive. It's living sacrifice for this jutsu to force someone to come back against their will and use as a puppet in a war or in a combat.
Yeah.
Let's see, and this is honestly should be stuff that Sakura should be morally against, given how she argued about sorcery, about the value of human life, and not to mention the medic ninja and all that stuff. Let's see, she should. Let's see how. Let's see. You even see here, which she tried to save Gigi after being bitten by a dinosaur and all that stuff. She wanted to try and keep him alive, but still, it's like she should not even consider using the thing. And before people say like, okay, yeah, you had Orochimaru use that as a bargaining chip against Tsunade to bring back Dan and her brother. And that is arguably Tsunade rather witsy, but arguably Tsunade had long since not been sort of lost her way a bit and just gambling and all that stuff. But in the end, she concluded like they will never want to do that way. But yeah, it's like Sakura herself should not did not have. Let's see, at least at that point, the baggage of history of losses that Tsunade did and the emotional scars throughout the years. She should not be even considering doing that with Sasuke at all.
No.
Or Naruto, whoever she was pairing up with.
Pretty much.
This is the main issue with this, let's see, with like, when bringing back the sort of Edo Tensei in the storyline. Just to do some sort of like romance thing like that.
Yeah.
But granted, I suppose we should have mentioned about the whole Edo Tensei thing and the law thing brought back. I mean, because this is the first story post the ending of Naruto that has actually talked about Edo Tensei. But yeah. But yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, it is the first time they brought it back up.
Yeah. I mean, granted, apparently it's its own special record reincarnation in jutsu, though I don't really know. Let's see the whole details of it.
Shoot.
I don't know. It doesn't really feel clear what the difference is.
No, I was gonna say shoot.
Sorry,
I'm waiting for a side story to talk about what things are like at the Valley of the End, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know that place is a mess, given the end of the series, but you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised that has never been brought up, at least. But yeah, I think apparently was Borso there at the Valley of End?
No. Hey, you're talking about the opening scene, right?
I'm talking about in chapter 80, where it's implied that's the place Sasuke took him. Is that it?
Is it? I haven't read.
I don't know. I probably need to double check.
I need to check back on it again, but
Yeah.
I don't remember Sasuke taking him there. If he did, then well, that's an oversight.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. First, you sadly, Blue. This isn't the Sakura and you in love. Both she and Naruto are husks of what they used to be. Nothing remains of the two. You've kind of got a point there, but yeah. But anyway, I suppose now that we've talked about two main protagonists, we might as well talk about our main antagonists for a bit. The first one. Sorry, what?
I was going to say, honestly, I don't even think the main antagonist is that interesting. I'll be real.
Yes, I mean, the main one is like.
What I can kind of get is Gigi, kind of, as like a very small kind of, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Sansuru, yes, who looks honestly like a male carrying.
He does.
And frankly, I can't wonder if this is the SS author being spiteful towards Karin or not. By having an antagonist that looks like a male Karin.
Could be.
Let's see, but yeah. From my understanding, he's supposed to be the main ally of the Prime Minister, who's more of the antagonist of the first novel and all that stuff. Yeah. Whereas apparently he's supposed to be creating a dinosaur army so he can take over the land and wage war and all that stuff. That is mainly his motive, which pretty generic bad guy story, really much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, there's some intrigue with him at first when you're seeing him, with, like somehow he's able to control Memo, and then when Sasuke tries to use genjutsu on him, it has no effect on him because apparently his eyes are glass.
Yeah.
I suppose, in many ways, that is sort of interesting to have as a villain for Sasuke, someone that is, that doesn't have cannot be affected by genjutsu, because their eyes are sort of some sort of artificial thing. I think in the anime they were more of like computer, data, like computer cyborg thing. I think in the manga they made it glass. The main thing, but yeah. So you've got that, but I think the biggest problem is eventually it's revealed that he's no ninjutsu, no chakra powers, nothing like that.
Nope.
Which I'm not saying not having some of those kind of powers is necessary as an antagonist for Naruto. I mean, in the land of waves, you had Gato, but I think Gato at the very least was.
He at least had a presence to him.
Yeah, and I feel like he was a lot more until maybe underestimating like Zabuza doing a suicide charge, a lot more carefully planned out of hiring a rogue ninja mercenary and then having goons afterwards to try and wipe out both sides that was left and all that stuff. But yeah, but yeah, I feel like it feels weird having someone with no powers, but yet also immune to Sasuke's genjutsu at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like you really shouldn't have both of them at the thing. I mean, so like that, but yeah. I mean, if he had his own even some of his own basic jutsu, I feel this was at least, let's see, he was some sort of ninja that let's see, could at least stand a somewhat of a chance of at least not being killed by Sasuke straight away. At the very least, let's see, and had some sort of like special sensory thing that allows him to fight, even if he's technically can't have proper eyesight. But yeah, just someone that Sasuke can't use genjutsu on, just to give him somewhat of a challenge. But I feel like he's just like generic evil bad guy, which is not necessarily the worst thing, but I feel like it's just the way it was done was not really that interesting.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, let's see, some villains just being evil for the sake of evil, like Jack Hornet from the new Puss in Boots movie. Yeah, that kind of works, but here I just feels like, I mean, because like you don't really know much of the whole Rakada lands or whole like plot and like bit of the thing. I mean, it feels like it's just pretty much a made up country just for like this storyline, really. So yeah. I mean, okay. I mean, I suppose there is something interesting about a villain that caused the result of his own death with his own arrogance of like not properly controlling his like dinosaur, since he's not the original user from him and all that stuff. So it's like that. Though, granted, I don't know how they planned on doing like the plot line of like okay, manipulating Gigi with like I'll give you the corpse of your fiance back if you do this for me, because eventually, since you lied about it, you was eventually going to figure it out, unless you had some way of retaining control of the dinosaurs and then getting rid of Gigi later. But I don't know. But I feel like this would have been more effective if he had at least some sort of chakra and jutsu levels. I mean, even that one of those prisoners that Sasuke met in the beginning of the chapter had a bit of chakra. But yeah, now from my understanding, the novel did imply that he had wind style chakra nature, which honestly could be a good thing to like be like to counter Sasuke's lightning style Chidori's and all that stuff, even though they've been weak to fire. But yeah. But anyway, but as for like the second twist villain is of course Gigi.
Yeah.
Arguably, there is some sort of depth of this guy, since he does actually have a proper motivation. I mean, Sansu is like a sort of nationalist that wants the prime minister to rule and lets you start wars and all that stuff that benefit the country. Gigi is a sort of like, from my understanding, a rogue ninja from the sand, which I feel it's a bit weird how a rogue ninja from the sand village would not have realized just how strong, realized who Sasuke was straight away, or just about, and realized that, I wouldn't stand no chance against this guy.
Right.
It's like, if this guy was from like a minor village that doesn't really get into the politics of like the five great ninja village, I could maybe somewhat find it believable, but from the sand village, he should know who Sasuke is.
Oh yeah.
At the very least, everyone should know, since like he's everyone in the Five Nations should at least know, because well, he literally attacked the summit with all the Kages there, and his own involvement in the Fourth Great Ninja War.
Unless it became one of those things of like, yeah, let's just sweep that under the rug.
But yeah, but stuff like
I
that.
would not be surprised if that's it. I'm like, yeah, we know that happened, but sweep it.
Yeah, that's just the problem with the story. But yeah,
right.
But anyway,
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying like it's like, well, we got a plot excuse. Okay, that doesn't exactly help anything.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, I suppose the motivation for someone that I can sort of buy the idea that, okay, my lover is dead, I would resurrect with a jutsu to resurrect. I could see someone falling to the temptations of that.
I mean, that's no, I wasn't gonna say that's kind of like Obito, but not really.
Yeah. Which does make you wonder why Obito never tried to do that with the Edo Tensei thing, but yeah. But yeah, I suppose you could say it's similar to that, but frankly, but yeah. But I just feel like he's just, let's see, just not really all that threatening as a villain, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like, okay, he can summon, dinosaurs and all that stuff, but yeah. But frankly, outside of that, let's see, the only thing we've seen him do is some sort of earth wall, but yeah. But you got him easily restrained by Sakura, and he only was able to damage her because, let's see, she let her guard down, which is another thing that I want to complain about. Let's see, probably should complain about Sakura is that, let's see, when she got stabbed and then got saved by Sasuke, she felt like, oh, I'm so useless or something like that. And it's like, really, again? Let's see. It's like, oh yeah, but it's like I suppose, but yeah, like him and Sasuke, let's see, trying to be like more of a husband and wife thing. This felt kind of cringe. Oh yeah, one thing I probably should have mentioned about Sasuke, it feels weird that apparently he has some sort of ice style power, but not actually ice style Gekkei Genkai. Which, to be honest, I think that
I will admit that is honestly kind of weird.
Yeah. Which, to be honest, I honestly feel like this is arguably probably one of the fundamental long-term things of probably why Element style shouldn't have been like necessarily Gekkei Genkai. Since but yeah, and should have just been like certain ninjas can combine elements if they are compatible. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, but back to Gigi. But yeah, to be honest, okay, you talked about having a fiance and all that stuff, but I feel like they didn't really make him all that sympathetic in the manga when, in the beginning, he seemed to be crushing on Sakura, and it looked like he was about to touch her without her consent. Yeah, and it feels like that was done to have a forced Sasuke moment. I mean, granted, the anime did this better by just having him listening on Sakura, and Sasuke's like, wait, you guys are married?
That's true.
I mean, that was much better.
Mm-hmm.
Which, to be fair, I guess you could say the anime does make him a bit more sympathetic, but the manga kind of makes him feel more like a creep.
Yeah. I think the light was too. I gotta remember. It's when I was living the light novel.
But yeah. But frankly, but whether or not, okay, but granted, him being a bad guy was more of just a twist at the end, so you couldn't really get all those motivations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's see. I mean, can I buy maybe him and Sasuke being sort of buddies a bit? To be fair, okay, but yeah, but it feels like for the first half, it was just more of a plot device about, shouldn't you guys be doing this and that for a married couple?
Yeah, well, that's kind of essentially what he was, at least in the beginning.
Yeah, and even then, you could argue he's still that. Well, it's like, okay, him succumbing to his own weakness to, like, with the Edo Tensei and the resurrection and doing his horrible stuff thing, but Sasuke and Sakura saying, oh, we have friends and blah, 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 that would stop us from doing something like that. But yeah. I mean, granted, it probably might have been a bit more interesting if you had Margot, it had that storyline with Kakashi and Margot told first to like build into this a bit more. It's like, oh wait, that, but yeah, but you didn't. You don't really have like, it just feels kind of like out of left field.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, like what?
Yeah, it's like, and with him and the Witsi coming to help the prince, now king, rebuild the country, which is a bit weird. How this place has like a sort of like let's see, this is the only country in the world of Naruto that actually has king and queen as a title rather than stuff like daimyo or lord or something like that, which I will admit is weird. I mean, granted,
at least in canon, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, fillers.
Like, I know, like, movies have kind of
done it. Yeah. Now, granted, this is honestly probably why you probably should have had Naruto, just the ninja world bit there. That was mostly a continent full of ninja and all that stuff. And you could have had continents with different cultures and all that stuff if you wanted to do long-term spin-offs. But yeah, and see how ninjas interact with stuff like knights or other like sort of fighters or martial artists and all that stuff from like different cultures. But yeah, I'm just saying on that bit. But yeah, but honestly, I suppose there's some things that feel like work with GG, but there's some things that just don't make me care or making me feel a bit unsympathetic just for the way he behaved. But yeah. Anyway, I guess the other major character to talk about is Menno. Let's see, the dinosaur. Which is both arguably initially an antagonist that Sasuke had to fight a few times. Let's see. Okay, first time he easily first time see Memo's killing a guard that tried to persuade Sasuke to escape with him, but didn't. When he got eaten by it. But yeah. Second time, then you like encounter him and Sasuke easily beats him, and it's like, okay, why is this guy? Can this dinosaur be a threat? But then he's like he or she is fully recovered. And Sasuke only, let's see, and it ends up sort of, like, as you could say, beating Sasuke because it was encased with poison next time. And then eventually Sasuke is able to find a way to break the seal, or at least control of the seal, and then make it its ally, and they team up, which, okay, kind of cool. But I feel like it's like the whole thing with the sort of dinosaur resurrection thing is apparently whoever has the contract with it, chakra, is what makes it strong, and then that's why you see Memo taking down a T-Rex when arguably by itself, when arguably it should not be that strong.
No.
But honestly, like we just talked about earlier, the dinosaurs just feel weird and out of place in this, and feels like it would have been better if it was like mythical dragons.
Yeah.
Heck, you could have even done like the whole How to Train Your Dragon thing with like Sasuke bonding with his dragon.
I would have actually been into that if that's what it was.
Yeah.
I would have been, you know what? I would have been like, you know what? I don't really care too much about the Sasuke stuff, but Sasuke and the dragon, though. Now that's interesting.
Yeah. But funny enough, you did have some people say that Sasuke had more chemistry with Memo than he ever did with Sakura in some of the comments I saw.
I mean, you had a little bit of a send off from Menno too, which it was like a, I'll say it was kind of a touching farewell.
But yeah, that was kind of like sort of nice, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know. You could have had
like if someone were to ask me like, okay, where do I rank this? It doesn't beat like, you know, the Itachi farewell during the war, or Tsunade and Dan and Naruto and Minato. You know, like it doesn't beat stuff like that, but it's all right.
But yeah. Well, to be fair, I doubt it could, because it's a dinosaur you're just only introduced in like this one little short story. But yeah,
I've just seen people talk about it. I'm like, it was all right. I wouldn't call it the best.
But, I mean, let's see. I mean, but yeah, I feel like you could try to do some more bonding moments with Sasuke in that. I mean, okay, granted, you have that one scene where the GG's getting the other prison guys in their cell to like pet it, but then it goes all hostile when one of them puts their foot out. But yeah, but other than that, let's see. But no, I feel like you could have honestly felt like if the story was longer, I feel like one of the things you should have done is just Sasuke just more interactions with this dinosaur to make the sort of eventual turn when Sasuke gains control more believable.
I agree.
Because I feel like okay, you broke free of its control, but why would it then suddenly follow you? Though, granted, it might have just been that Sasuke put his own seal of Genjutsu on, but I don't know. But I definitely feel like but yeah, Sasuke and the dragon storyline would have been, you know, with a toothless like dragon storyline would have been a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and heck, you could even somehow make it related to the snakes.
it would have actually been amusing if, let's say, Sasuke didn't care about it. He's like, "Stop following me,"
Mm-hmm.
and then he's just like, "Fine,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
go."
And then by the time when it has to depart, he's actually gonna miss it.
Yeah,
I feel like,
like,
yeah,
but I could picture Sasuke like that. He's like, "I don't care, go," and then he's like, "Fine, let's go."
yeah. Honestly, this story feels like a lot more thing, and you can even tie it with the whole snakes and all that stuff. Since apparently, the snake stage mode is technically supposed to be some like snake evolving to a dragon stage mode.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I could have seen that working with that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yeah. But anyway, what else is like? Oh yeah. Besides that, you have a few other minor characters in the story. The main two that in particular, I believe, let's see, I believe his name is Pendura, and I think the other is I think his name is Gano, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, Sasuke's two other cellmates. I mean,
They're not really that important. Let's be real.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really understand the purpose of Gano, except for maybe like a few bonding moments with Memo, and then let's see, showing that okay, Gigi's not a full bad guy, and then just have some Sakura to just save later. But feels like they make a sort of like a comment about oh, Sasuke looks at a sort of cherry blossom, let's see, tree thing, and that means he's thinking of her. Let's see, but I don't know, just another sort of Sakura scene to just try and sham into the story. But yeah, he feels kind of
I think that one's as bad, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's see, the whole let's see, character. I think it's name Penjira. I think he's a bit more fun just because of his sort of gambling habits.
Yeah, I will say that.
It's like okay, let's see, when he just makes bet with Sasuke and Sakura about gambling stuff and all that stuff. Like, oh, he doesn't want to do it, but then they give him some sort of like a valuable cigarette thing to do, and he's like, I'm in, but only ends up losing because of he doesn't he suspects they cheated, or at least Sasuke cheated with the dice one. He just underestimated just how good Sakura was with just mesmerizing the cards. So yeah.
Mm.
But honestly, I don't know. We never really got a resolution with those characters. Let's see, they fought in the prison dinosaur attack, but then afterwards, you never saw some parting thing or anything like that. They're just gone. I mean, granted, maybe the novel has something, but the manga just, I don't know. Or anime that did nothing with them afterwards when the dinosaurs all disappeared. But yeah. Other than that, you have like the attendant. Let's see, which I don't know, it's just like for like the prime minister. Nothing much of that character. And then you have that mother and daughter to give the whole subplot about the intel about where to find the particles with the Sage of Six Paths. Where apparently the Sage of Six Paths isn't that well known here, but yet there's an entire card game and a book about him here. So it's like a bit of a contradictory thing there. Oh, and he introduced the whole subplot about the Redding Ring, but yeah. Honestly, not really much and all that stuff, but yeah, that's pretty much all the characters in the story. And honestly, maybe except for the Penjiro, I don't really see much value for most of them, to be honest. Except for like most of the forced romance bits, except for like that one attendant that was going to see the prime minister for an investigation to discover like chickens and the fossils for resurrection. Which poor chickens, by the way. But yeah,
I know. I mean, well, no, I can't say that. That's too dark for me to say. I'm like, whoa. Like I had to take a step back. I'm like, no, I can't say it. Because then it's gonna come off as wow.
Okay. I'll trust your judgment on that, but yeah. But anyway,
at the end of the stream. I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, but at the moment, let's see. We pretty much talked about all the stories bad. But besides that, how would you say the manga art style is? Because one of the things that seemed to be appealing for this story to people is the fact that that you've got someone that actually matches the art style of Kishimoto rather than the mangaka of Boruto.
That's so honestly, if I were to give this a huge upside, it's the art style. Like the art style is like okay, I wouldn't say it's like 100% accurate to Kishi, but it's close. I'll give it that much. It's close.
Yeah, it feels more like that. Granted, I'm not sure if the action would be as good as if it was had Kishimoto drawing it, but still, I will say at least in aesthetics and design, it looks more like this type of art style you'd see for like a Naruto-related spin-off story than arguably like Ikimoto's Boruto art, which I'm not going to be completely, which has some very problematic aspects, but I'll definitely say Ikimoto, from my understanding, when he was assistant Kishimoto, was pretty much the background assistant.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't be like when he does his backgrounds, it's fine, but when he does his character models, leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
But yeah. So is there anything else with the manga that you wish to talk about? Let's see, or should we now want to talk about what the anime did to adapt and what they changed for the better or worse?
We can go to the anime. I think we've talked.
We talked about what? Sorry.
I said it. I think we've talked enough about the manga.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, we so as you know, we pretty much let's see. Besides the manga adaptation, it also got an anime was announced, which honestly, the anime actually finished before the manga was fully adapted.
I was gonna say this. What would you rate the manga as a whole?
At best, a 3 out of 10. The SS moments, cringe. Cringe and all that stuff. Let's see. Most of them I don't like. There's a few cool moments with Sakura's character there, and the art style matches Kishimoto, but the stuff like the dinosaur plot line and some of the stuff with Edo Tensei just feels a bit
Yeah, I'd give it like a 4. Mainly for the art style. I mean, it was quick. I'll say that it was a quick read, which again, it's not really say it's a lot of it has to do with like the weaker aspects of the story, which the weaker aspects like overshine like whatever like little things are.
Sorry, Lucky, you were a bit static there, so I didn't quite hear everything you said clearly.
No, I was just saying that the weaker elements, there were too many like negatives and with the story, the positive aspects to it,
Okay. Let's see. Fair enough. But yeah, so that's the manga bits. Now the anime adaptation. Now it was literally like I said, it funny enough actually finished before the manga was fully done.
Can I say I want to have a hot take on this?
Okay.
If you don't mind me saying this. I think the anime I actually preferred the anime over the manga. Funny enough, right?
Yeah, I'm not actually surprised, to be honest.
and some people aren't gonna like me when I say this, but a lot of the Sakura cringe that's in the light novel and in the manga, it's like either like heavily reduced or like non-existent in the anime.
Oh yeah, I definitely know there were some Sakura fans that were not happy at that, but honestly, they just got rid of arguably some of the worst parts of the story.
Mm-hmm. Like I remember getting to the end of like I remember like when the ring part came up, I was like, okay. I was like, give me the scene where she's fawning over. Oh, she's not fawning over it. That's
Yeah, and there are some scenes where they tried to make it more romantic or touching than it did in the manga. I will admit. I mean, granted,
Yeah,
I still found those cringe, but still, there seemed
it
to be a
wasn't
bit
as
more of an
cringy.
effort.
It's like it wasn't as cringy
Yeah.
in that aspect.
So yeah, you had stuff like that. One thing I kind of know, like that was a bit of a minor detail is the fact that they got rid of the Uchiha clan symbol on the back of her outfit.
For Sakura?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't see the Uchiha clan symbol, at least when she was out on the mission thing.
I gotta rewatch it, or at least look at some stills, because,
Yeah. Because I feel like that should have been a bit. Because I feel like that should have been that should have let's see should have been let's see what that should not have. I think Sakura, if she really wanted to be on a mission, she should have probably let's see not have worn something that had like arguably one of the most famous clans in the Leaf Village. Let's see on her back, which let's see someone could possibly.
I guess in terms of the anime, that is they don't show the symbol.
Yeah, and but yeah, I mean, granted, yes, people might say, "Oh, it's Rekada, no one knows about the Uchiha clan there." But given the fact you had like Gigi there, you should have realized that there's a Uchiha at the moment. Let's see, she either had a look at the back of Sakura.
Yeah.
I mean, Sasuke's wearing a prison uniform for the majority of the story, so yeah, let's see, he wouldn't. I can see why he wouldn't be able to like only like on appearances unless he put two together with a name, which he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like okay, that was good. Though granted, the downside is the fact that the animation style wasn't always well drawn or detailed. And in fact, I think some people said that Sakura looked like her part one self.
You can see in a few scenes here or there. I didn't notice that. I was like,
yeah, I mean, it's like she looks a bit way too small and all that stuff. But yeah, it just doesn't really look good. One thing I'm not sure if it was better or worse. Well, it made this one random guy that gets killed by Memo more stupider. Is that after the sort of in the manga, after Sasuke beats the living daylights out of like these guys picking a fight in the prison to like a first day thing. The leader of that group realizes that Sasuke is a ninja, or at least a chakra user, and reveals that he is a chakra user, and says there's a plan to escape, but Sasuke refuses, but it doesn't work and he gets eaten. Regardless. Yeah. But in the anime, they made him just like this random dude that just got beat up and then started running for the exit, let's see, with no guard and all that stuff, and probably should have realized that, yeah, this was a stupid suicide move. I mean, honestly, sorry, go on.
No, I was saying, well, you get casualties in that respect. So.
Yeah, no, not really someone you'd actually care about.
No, it's not. It's not going to be someone where you like weep and cry over. It's not that kind of casualty. But it is a cat. I hate using this terminology, but it's fodder casualty. That's basically what it is.
Pretty much, it's like, oh yeah, the example of like this person. Let's see what happens when this person does that, or yeah, this is what happens when you die and all that stuff. Which you got that towards the end of Naruto, and arguably it's more of an example you see in One Piece quite often.
Yeah.
Though One Piece is able to do it in a quite clever way, I would say, for the most part. Yeah. So stuff like that. Other than that, I do think the anime, at least they did add some more bits. I think with the Kakashi story and the thing, at least as the setup and a few scenes of Kashi investigating. But yeah,
Yep.
Which I feel like was actually kind of good to explain more context to details on all these things, because like, oh, Kakashi's investigating here and all that stuff. It's like, but okay, in the anime you actually kind of see it.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you don't see how the prime minister was taken down in the end, but
no,
at least some attempts. But it just goes to show you how you probably should have done the Kakashi story first before doing this one.
Yeah.
should have.
The only other thing I can tell that's arguably a bit more controversial is that you have more of Sakura and Sasuke alone together. Let's see at the end, just fully, but without any of like the stuff with Sadara, who has apparently learned some kicking skills with like.
No,
Like,
I don't think they're together by the end of the anime version. Anyway, I think the way how they show it in the anime is that like they sent each other's presents when they're not like physically there. If that makes any sense.
oh yeah,
I think that's how they showcased it there.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of more corny than the family dinner thing. To be honest, I can see why some people that like the family dinner might be more upset with like that. But yeah, granted, yeah, but yeah, Sadara learning to cook from Iruka, who was apparently where she was the entire time when Sakura came along on the mission. Even though you do have parents, Sakura, weren't they babysitting? But yeah.
You know what would be kind of messed up? Some people will find it messed up. I'd be like, wow, okay. What if the reason we don't see her parents is that they don't acknowledge the way she's living her life?
To be honest,
it's a messed up headcanon of mine, but you want to explain why her parents aren't there?
Well, to be fair, I think I have seen some, let's see, people make those headcanons that her parents don't actually, that her and her parents don't actually like each other that much. So I can probably buy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's like if I was to have like Sakura on a mission to help Naruto ill, which arguably I have them married, to be honest, rather than let's see, Sasuke. Honestly, I would probably have her leave her, let's see, kids. If one of them is not at least a responsible teenage adult, at least a young adult yet, if he looked after with her parents while she's doing this mission while Naruto remains ill or something like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is what I would probably honestly do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Let's see, but I think the animation quality of the Retsuden adaptation isn't really all that stellar, and the dinosaurs don't really look all that impressive from my understanding.
Nope.
So it's like, on one hand, there's a few scenes they cut that makes it less cringe, and a few of added content that makes some more of the backstory a bit better, especially with that king and prince thing. That's because they figured they need to do they need to do this in a flashback because of like this was supposed to happen, I think, before the events of Boruto, right?
I think so.
But yeah, but it's like but the animation and thing just doesn't. Well, granted, arguably the action wasn't all that stellar to begin with, but it just kind of looks worse here.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
Let's see. So that's pretty much what they've done with the anime adaptation. But okay. But yeah. Let's see. Anything else you want to say about the anime?
I mean, I'll say this. They also took out, what was the line? The "he's so hot" line.
Oh yeah, that was a thing. Though I will admit, I do wish they kept this.
I'm thankful they took that out. I was going through the game. I was like, okay, I'm waiting for it, and they brushed past it.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
No.
I will admit, the one thing I was a little disappointed, the bit in the anime where you have Sakura and Ino talking, they had that and just regular conversation about talking about Ino's son and the kids or something like that, or just stuff not related to Sasuke. In the anime, they do only have like the Sasuke conversation, minus the he's so hot moment.
Yeah.
Granted, I think they made. Let's see. I can't recall if the manga both had Shikamaru giving the reports to Sakura there, but I feel like Shikamaru had a bit more of a role there in the anime. So go on.
I was just gonna say, like, if it feels like in the anime they treat Sakura a bit more maturely than how she's portrayed in the light novel and in the manga.
Yeah. Which has led to some. I mean, granted, there's always these debates about whether or not the anime studio likes Sakura or not.
Yeah.
let's see. Granted, let's see. From my understanding and all that stuff. I mean, you've got some Sasuke fans just going out and accusing them of like just ruining a lot of their moments, and they've just always had a thing against that and all that stuff. I mean, you have some accusing the studio of being no Saku fans, but I think the context from my history of Studio Pariot is that the female staff like Sakura and now Sakura, at least when the time when Naruto was ongoing. But the male staff likes Hinata and now Hina. So that's why you got, and the male staff, unfortunately, let's see, outnumbered the female staff. So you got more of that than no Sakura. But it's like also why you never really got that many scenes with Sakura that made her look good in the whole thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, arguably, yes, you could argue that maybe there's some more staff members in the Boruto anime now that do generally like Sakura, and that's why they have like some good moments with her, like her fight against Shin Uchiha, and even I guess you could say the fight against her daughter. Though, granted, I didn't really find that fight all that exciting, to be honest.
It was all right. I wouldn't say it's the best thing in the world, but it's.
I don't know. I found it rather boring, but yeah. I don't know. I guess let's say this might be being influenced by how chat reacted to it, but yeah, it's nothing really special to look at.
Yeah.
But you do have the anime saying, but you have the Sasuke fans accusing the anime of not being in favor of their ship that much.
Mm-hmm.
Now, whether or not that is true or not, we'll have to wait and see.
Oh yeah.
But given the fact that apparently Sakura's voice actor is starting to feel a bit more ill and all that stuff, apparently they're not going to use her as much. But yeah. So, granted, the Boruto anime is apparently ending in the 300th episode once it's fully adapted all the stuff that's currently going on in the manga. And going on a hiatus. So, yeah. You're not going to have much more to do with that. But granted, there's going to be like 4 special episodes of Naruto. But yeah. So, how involved Sakura will be in them, I don't know. But yeah. But if I was to like rank the anime, I might just slightly give it a 4 out of 10, just being slightly better in just some parts than others, but still overall not really that good of a story.
Yeah, it's about the same for me. I'd probably just have to go like just a point higher, which would just put out like a 5. Which again is not saying much.
But yeah. I mean, this story is just not really good in general, and yeah, and I think the biggest problem is the fact that
I mean, the only other reason why I'm giving it an extra point is also because of like the background music and everything. That is
I mean, sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying like the background music does slightly help it. I say slightly.
I mean, some of those things do try to make some moments between Sasuke and Sakura look more romantic than they probably should, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
But overall, I don't really think it's good, this storyline. I mean, it doesn't really address any of the issues of the baggage that Sakura had in the time of its development. It didn't really, it doesn't really fix any of those issues. It just makes a few like a unnecessary plot line about rings, and the whole like MacGuffin of finding a cure for Naruto was just kind of ridiculous with the whole particle things and just how Naruto got ill. The dinosaurs, of course, are the law of ridiculous things, and honestly, it definitely feels like if you were going to adapt this, you should have adapted the Kakashi one first, which I don't know why they wouldn't try to adapt the Kakashi one first. I mean, Kakashi is arguably one of the most popular characters in Naruto, and he's been completely absent except for fillers in Boruto since the whole thing there and all that stuff. And honestly, it feels like this is like a story that could have been more better if it was like one last Team 7 hurrah mission together and just reflecting on the whole where they were as a team and where they are now.
Who knows if we'll ever get that?
Yeah. Which sadly no, but yeah. But honestly, if you were to do like a proper story, if I was to do a proper story with Sakura and Sasuke in it, arguably I wouldn't have them as a couple. arguably sort of made peace, but I feel like there's some lingering issues there of what happened. And on this mission, where you have it, when you have like a time, when the two have a time to breathe, you just talk about just everything that happened. Sakura, while admitting that she was like probably being a naive fan, the thing, but she feels like some of Sasuke's actions didn't really get the excuse or justify the way he either treated her or what he was going to try and do to the others of the village. But eventually, of course, come to like a mutual understanding and sort out issues, and they're just able to be a bit more civil friends. It's particularly for like Naruto's sake or something like that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like that would have been probably more better, but yeah. That's generally the whole gists of the story and all that stuff, but yeah. Well, is there anything else you want to say, Lucky Chi, or you're just about ready to wrap this up?
I think that's about it.
Fair enough. I think we just pretty much said what we had to say. I mean, granted, this seems to be like a story to test about how popular I think Sasuke or particular Sakura or Sakura or them together. I don't know if it succeeded. From my understanding, the first volume sold 50,000. I don't know if that number's been increased or decreased or not with the second volume, or like the first one sold more since then. I have heard some debates about how popular the story actually is, since apparently on the Jump app, you had like 18 million people apparently checking it out, or at least a few million people checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't really know how the Jump app actually fully works. Or I mean, I saw some tweet somewhere saying that apparently at least this other manga got like 200 million views on looking at this thing. I don't know, but yeah. Apparently but frankly, this story has done nothing to improve the state of Sasusaku, but let's see. I mean, arguably, but after the three, sorry, go on.
I was gonna like even more than just Sasusaku, but like even for Sasuke, it was like really like that's what you could tell for Sasuke.
Yeah, I mean, granted, arguably because Sasuke is just so strong, it's hard to give him an opponent strong. But I feel like you could have done it much better with like the antagonist you had. Maybe if you give him like an actual proper mythical dragon, the guy who's immune to genjutsu is actually a proper ninja. And if you wanted like I mean, and stuff like that. But yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I was gonna say this like if you really wanted to do a manga adaptation of one of the light novels, like I think I've talked about it on your stream before, but the Sasuke Sunrise novel I think would have been a better start for that.
Didn't they already adapt that?
They adapted it for the anime. I know that. I was just saying, like, if they wanted to adapt it for like a manga, they could have done that. I think the one you're thinking of is the Konoha Shinden one with Mirai.
Well, no, that's it. No, I know that one's currently ongoing and still ongoing, and I am thinking that once it's ended, if you want to discuss that manga, possibly. I don't know, just to try and do something different, but yeah.
Yeah.
But my main point is, out of like the three stories that have had some sort of Sakura focus or Sakura focus, is like there's like three stories: the Sakura and Hidden novel, the Gaiden, and this Retsuden one. In terms of which one would you say is the least bad, and the one that's the worst?
Wait, what was the other one you said?
Okay, you had at least three, as far as I can tell, there's at least three novels that focus on Sakura, Sasuke, and Sasusaku. And Sasusaku as the ship. That's Sakura Hidden, Naruto Gaiden, and this one.
This one's kind of like. See, it's weird. I don't really think this one does much for the story. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This one kind of just seems there. So I'd say this one. It's either 2 or 3. I can't tell. Um, the Soccer Heaton novel. I actually don't remember that much of it outside of like what accomplishment Sakura did with like establishing like the first children's medical hospital.
Mm-hmm. My understanding, the way you talked about that novel, the stuff where it involves just Sakura centric doesn't involve Sasuke. It's good, but when it's focused on the stuff of Sasuke, it's bad. Gaiden has the problem of this just showing just how problematic the SS relationship is with like their daughter, and sort of like a bit of a even imply that Karin might actually be Sadara's proper mother, but never really but sort of like just sort of depending on who you say, like because apparently there was massive backlash from the Sakura fandom saying they refused to buy anything if it turns out Sadara was never, let's see, Sakura's child and all that stuff. Though, how much that actually impacted the story, I don't know. For my understanding, the story should have been, let's see, from the beginning and end, should have probably been pretty much fully drafted and fully developed at that point, since it was like a limited 10-chapter series.
No. Honestly, I would go with Gaiden then, with being at the top. I said I'd probably go with Gaiden then for being at the top.
Was the best or the worst?
That's the thing. Maybe. Well, the Soccer Heaton one, you don't really even get Sasuke and Sakura interact at all.
Which honestly makes it probably the best, to be honest.
Yeah, like you only get her thinking about it from time to time. So I'd probably put that one at the top. And see, the thing about the Naruto Gaiden one is that it's like you're throwing a bone that, oh, like it didn't actually happen, only for it to be like, oh wait, no, it did actually happen. You know? It's kind of like you throw this little plot element of like, oh, okay, maybe they didn't actually get together. Maybe it's just an adopted kid. But you know.
Sorry, what was that last bit?
No, like I was just saying that maybe like you introduced the element of like, okay, Sarda isn't really Sakura's daughter; she's actually Karin's daughter. Which, honestly, if you think about the story of Gaiden and what Naruto was telling Sarda, that it's not about like, about the blood ties; it's about like all that stuff. I think thematically that could have actually fit. The problem is you get to the ending and none of that makes any difference.
Yeah. I've been so arguably, yeah, I'd probably say Gaiden is the worst, just because the family drama just makes the Sasuke relationship even worse than it is. This one does nothing to really solve the issues, but doesn't have anything to make it worse except maybe cringe moments.
Yeah.
Though arguably, Dinosaurs is a lot dumber as an antagonist than, say, another Uchiha clone from the Akatsuki.
Yeah.
Kind of form the Akatsuki created by Orochimaru, but yeah.
I mean, my cousin actually asked me this question the other day. She was like, hey, like if someone were to point a gun to you and they said, you have to revisit Sasuke Retsuden at some point, and which piece of media would you do it through? And I said, honestly, that's not a hard answer. I would just go with the anime.
With Retsuden or Gaiden? Or both? Retsuden. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I'm probably starting dozing off a little bit, but yeah.
Although I would, honestly, the Gaiden portion in the anime is slightly better too.
Though arguably it's still a problematic storyline.
It is, yeah. But no, like that. So when I told my cousin, I was like, I'd probably just go with the anime version, just because there's less cringe to deal with.
Yeah, the anime, honestly, probably anime is only the thing. The only thing to tolerate. Though, granted, the only thing I would say is that the animation and fight scenes aren't really all that good.
No,
Let's see. Aesthetically, you'd probably find it more enjoyable in the manga, minus the cringe moments.
Yeah.
But honestly, probably anime is just more better version of retelling. But yeah. But anyway,
I was gonna say if they really wanted to, could have made it a movie. Could have.
I mean, potentially, but I feel like you need to do like a trilogy with like the whole stories, like
That's
the
the plan.
Kakashi one first, and then thing like that. But the great thing is, let's see. Now, granted, from my understanding, the studio's no longer confident that they will do a movie and all that stuff. So that's probably one of the reasons why we've never gotten another movie after the Borsa one. But oh yeah, First Evil says, I wouldn't want to do any of them. I'd rather get my eyes torn from my skull. Oh, damn. But yeah, to be honest, I'd rather not.
No, honestly,
read
I'd rather not either. But like, if someone were to say, "Hey, you got to pick one," I'd be like, "Well, deal with less cringe."
Yeah, but yeah, arguably, I probably would read the Sakura novel and all that stuff.
Yeah,
just because there are some things that are kind of interesting in there. But
here's a question I got for you now, because now we've got essentially anime form, a Naruhina story, and we have a Sasuke story. So, which one do you prefer out of the two?
Let's see. Well, one you've got like a cringe wedding, and the other one you have like Sasuke and Sakura on a mission. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I hate Sasuke more than Naruhina, but I find the Naruhina story to be a bit more cringe.
Yeah. I mean, at the very, I would say
I haven't even watched it properly yet, to be honest.
I would say at the very least with the, what's it called? With the wedding arc, you can at least laugh at it. That's the one thing they could do.
Yeah. Let's see. I suppose in terms of like the shonen part of me would probably be more enjoy let's see, mission of Sasuke and Sakura infiltrating a prison. Even though I would hate the Sasuke moments more.
Yeah. It's kind of like, okay, well, what do you pick? It's like, okay, from a storytelling standpoint, it's like, okay, the wedding arc isn't exactly that engaging in that sense.
No, you just have majority of the characters just going overboard trying to find wedding gifts for Naruto and Hinata, which
and honestly, here's the thing, because I was talking with someone about this yesterday, and they said, what if it was the same story arc but you had Naruto and Sakura? And I would say, like, as much as I'd be okay with Naruto and Sakura, I wouldn't even really be that fond of a wedding arc with that.
I mean, let's see.
Like, okay, like the shipper in me would be like, oh yeah, cool, totally. But if we're talking narratively, I'm kind of just like, come on, guys, this is kind of ridiculous.
Okay, don't worry, Blue. In my Walking Dead story crossover, Negan will kill Hinata and Sasuke killed by Zoromu. Okay, I think you're going a bit strong with the hatred there, First Evil, but okay. But yeah, let's see, an interesting fanfic for the very least. No, I think you probably, but anyway, but for like if the wedding was a Narusaku thing, honestly, I wouldn't mind it. Like, I can understand maybe the village, and maybe some friends from outside the village wanting to celebrate Naruto's big day, but I don't think they would just go to the lengths of trying to buy the perfect gift for them.
Yeah, like that's what I was telling someone. I was like even if you change like just the basis of the story, it's kind of just like it's not that appealing, guys.
Yeah, honestly, if I really wanted a wedding fic, I'd rather just have a story about just the two reflecting of like everything they've done and all that stuff, and what their lives are going to be like in the future.
No, like I would even no. It's so funny because I was going through and watching the wedding arc last year, right? Here's the thing: Naruto and Hinata aren't even in the story until like the very like end. That's the other thing. I'm kind of just like, wow,
Oh yeah, let's
you're
see.
you're mainly. And here's the thing: I don't mind Naruto Hina actually, but I'm just like, really? Like your two big stars aren't even in the arc itself.
I mean, it's like if you want to do a K11 story, don't make it about a fucking freaking wedding.
Yeah.
Have them go on like some missions or some adventures or what they want to do after the war and all that stuff.
No, and then that's what I addressed to somebody. I was like, look, even if you make it Naruto and Sakura, it's like they're hardly in the picture. It's like, okay.
But honestly, if I was to do like a wedding fic for Naruto, a wedding story for Naruto, I'd make it a mix of like the Amazing Spider-Man Annual 21 and Spider-Man Parallel Lives.
Yeah,
You know what I'm referring to, right?
maybe a little bit of like Luke and Mara Jade.
And maybe some bits of Luke and Mara Jade, at least when it comes to interacting with the friends.
Yeah.
Now, maybe not have some like assassination plot trying to stop the wedding and all that stuff.
I actually, honestly, that'd be more entertaining to watch. Actually, if someone tried to do that, as
Yeah.
messed up, they'd be like, you know what? On one hand, someone sabotaging a wedding is not exactly anything new. So
Okay, yeah. To be fair, you kind of had that with like in the Spider-Man the animated series where Harry tried to stop Peter and MJ's wedding. Though arguably, I don't think you'd have
that was
anyone.
a little more ridiculous, though. Honestly,
Yeah, and but that would of course have someone that was actually in a relationship with Mary Jane in that one. But I don't think you'd have anyone fall in love with Sakura so badly that they didn't want them to marry Naruto. I mean,
I know
granted,
it. Wait! I figured it out. It's that one ninja that gave her the letter. He's the one that tries to sabotage it.
nah. I mean that. I mean, to be fair, it was kind of weird how you had a grown male crushing on Sakura when she's like I think 17, but still. One of the few if no, granted I don't know how old that guy actually is, to be honest. I don't know if he was a teenager himself or an adult, but
Well, let's say 18. For that guy.
well, at least Ritzy, he should be hopefully at least that age, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, I don't really see him being that much of a threat. No, I wouldn't be surprised. No, I wouldn't mind him maybe showing up and saying, "Ah, so is this the great guy you were talking about?" and all that stuff. But yeah. But honestly, if I was to do a Narasaku wedding, it'd just be more like reflecting of what they are. Maybe even some details of parts like that you probably didn't like see, like the day Naruto fell in love with Sakura. Let's see the scene where Naruto met Sakura's parents and announced the wedding and how they reacted, stuff like that. Those some fun stories of like what they did before the wedding and all that stuff, and then what they hope to do and all that stuff. I don't know, just a little fun, fic like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Or maybe like, or even like, and if you really want to like do some sort of ninja combat thing, it's like, let's see, Naruto, trying to did one mission before the wedding, and it's like, will you be able to get on time for its actual date to come back or something like that? If you wanted to do some action,
right?
I don't know, but it's stuff like that. It's like all that kind of things you could do more creative than just like, everyone, I want to get the best gift for the blah 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 couple. Let's see. By the way, from my understanding, to get on the topic of Retsuden, they mentioned there's some sort of wedding for Sakura and Sasuke that happened in that novel, right?
I don't think so. See, that's what's weird. Like, they never address if Sasuke and Sakura ever got married. Like, okay, because like Naruto and Hinata, I'm like, okay, we've seen their wedding, and we it was even implied in the last two. So it's like, okay, we know about them. You can kind of get that impression with Tamari and Shikamaru, and of course with Ino and Sai. Sasuke and Sakura, though, it's like nothing.
Yeah. To be honest, and it's like I would say, and again, I wouldn't be surprised since Kishimoto doesn't seems to be like just don't really seem to like even writing this pairing when he's writing them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. But yeah, I mean, after we did say that Sakura's addicted to Sasuke, and he says any reasons of why she's so in love with him would sound contrived, but yeah. But yeah, that's just pretty much that. But yeah, but I think that's we just probably just overall summed up everything. Retsuden has added nothing to the Sasuke Sakura dynamic, except maybe adding a few cringe stuff, not addressing the issues, and frankly, feels like a story that feels like you needed like the first part at least, but told first before doing this one.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, granted, so yeah, so if you pretty much full experience will probably just be reading the novel, though if you had to pick between the two, manga and anime, probably the manga. Probably the anime is better.
I was about to say the manga.
Sorry, I just nearly got missed word there, Lucky Chi. But yeah.
You know, you're gonna have 1,000 comments going like, "What?" After complaining this much about the manga, he's like, "I'd go for the manga."
Sorry, it was just a slip of the tongue there. But yeah. But anyway, Lucky Chi, thank you for joining me, and let's see for this Naruto discussion, and I'm sure we'll have a few more. I've said a few ideas when I talked with chat about the Naruto polling.
Oh yeah.
So, no, I feel like before any of those ones comes up, let's see, depending on when that let's see, one with Kurenai's daughter, I believe Mina or something.
Mirai.
Depending if that one's completed, maybe I will do a discussion on that, since arguably of all the post-ending stories, that seems to be the one that will likely not annoy me the least. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, we might do the discussion on that one if you're up for it.
I gotta check it out again.
But yeah. But yeah, I do have a few Naruto ideas that, and even some Star Wars ones that we'll probably talk off stream. But for those who end up listening to the thing, which is like First Evil, and I think someone called Uzumaki Naruto there, who's probably not the actual Naruto Uzumaki, but just a Naruto Uzumaki fan. I hope you enjoyed what we had to say, even if you didn't stay around for the stream for long. I mean, currently, from what I'm telling from my live discussion thing, there's at least 3 people currently watching what we are listening into what we're saying. I hope you enjoyed what we had to say. But for now, I think it's time for us to sign off until like the next time we discuss Naruto, My Hero, whatever other stream we're going to do. Bye for now.
Later.
I'm Blue Star Saber. This is Lucky Chi. Bye-bye.
He's cursed.
You just had to say it at the end. And with that, I'm now ending the stream.
Until next time.
Yeah.